turn scars into skits, old wounds into bits. Every calling, every friend feels like Sunday once again. From the grind to the glow up, glass half empty, you pour more up. You take the weight we hold below and lift it on the lava walk of show. This that LeVar Walker Show, where the real ones talk and the wild thoughts go. We laugh, we cry, yeah, we let it roll. Healing through a joke and a story for the soul. This that LeVar Walker Show, turn it up loud, let the whole block know. From pain to punchlines, watch the wisdom glow. Yeah, this that LeVar Walker Show. Hey, some days heavy, some days light. You still find a way to make it feel alright. When the world's too loud, when the bill's too high, I press play, hear your voice, and I remember why. This that LeVar Walker Show, where the real ones talk and the wild thoughts go. We laugh, we cry.
What's happening? Welcome back to the greatest podcast on the face of the earth. I hope y'all are feeling my LeVar Walker Show song. Thank y'all for tuning back in. We're going to get right to it. So today, the U.S. military has raised the enlistment age to 42 years old. And they have also eased marijuana restrictions to show y'all that nobody wants to go to the military anymore. And now I guess we're just going to have a military of old men fighting. We'll be 60 in the military. I guess they'll keep extending the age because we're in quite a pickle. We're in a pickle where people aren't having enough children, and people don't have the qualifications to be in the military. So now the soldiers, you can be high and old in the military. And I pray we don't have to fight China. We might really, really be in trouble. I saw this and it was some startling news. So I'm going to pull this up. We'll get ready to share the screen about this. Army raises enlistment age. And that's starting April 20. So maximum enlistment age was 34 years old, and they've increased it to 42 years of age. And they removed the waiver requirement for individuals with a single prior conviction for marijuana. So that means that the recruitment numbers in the military are more than likely dangerously low. People don't want to go. So that is wild to me. That is wild. And can you blame people for not wanting to go? Because who wants to go fight these fake wars? Who wants to go over there and give their life for rich men to get rich off oil? You want to sacrifice poor, hardworking people for them to go over there and fight a war that does nothing. Meanwhile, you've cut funding to schools, health programs, everything, but you want people to go over there and fight. Make it make sense to me. So I'm guessing from this, with them increasing that age to 42, they might be thinking about bringing the draft back. They probably are going to bring back the draft. That is what I'm thinking this is pending on. Like, where do we go from here? Where do we go? Let me pull up a report. Give me 1 second, guys. Yeah. All right, here we go. So, U.S. Army increases max enlistment age to 42, changes marijuana conviction rule. The U.S. Army raised its maximum enlistment age to 40 to align with other military branches, including the Air Force and Coast Guard. The change applies to those who want to enlist in the regular Army, the Army National Guard, Army Reserves. Recruits with a single marijuana possession can now enlist without a waiver under revised policy. The U.S. announced the age range for those seeking to enlist has expanded amid the ongoing war in Iran. On March 20th, the Army announced in a revised Army Regulation 601-210 that the maximum age to enlist is 42, effective April 20. Previously, the maximum age was 35 to enlist in the regular Army, the Army National Guard, and Army Reserves. The minimum age limit remains 18 or 17 with parental permission. The revised regulation also permits recruits to enlist if they have a single marijuana possession or drug paraphernalia possession conviction without a waiver. They might as well just let the people fight for their freedom. You got everybody in jail. Let the prisoners, give a lot of the prisoners the opportunity to go fight for their freedom. I think that would probably help, right? You got a lot of young YNs, a lot of young people in the jail. Let them get out. Let them go over there and fight. That's what I would say, you know. Um, the Navy changed the cap to 41 in 2002, while the Marine Corps remains at 28. Each branch has the same minimum age limit. This marks the second time in 20 years that the Army shifted the enlistment age to 42. Yeah, well, that's where we at. Nobody wants to go to war, obviously. Fight Night says he's going to join the reserve. Good morning, Brenda Brown. Not a bad idea for those who were laid off or someone older with no skills education. I would have to agree with that. Boy, you look like me in this picture. I thought that was me. Do 024. He got the glasses, the goatee, and the hat on. I agree with letting let the prisoners fight. You know, them guys will get down. They got nothing to lose. You know, they can get their freedom back. You do a second chance program, and the military will surely fill their coffers. And that's where we're gonna have to go. Because these kids nowadays, you can't even get them off the game to even think about going outside to fight in the war. I couldn't imagine. Oh, let me straighten my chair up. Oh, yeah, I couldn't imagine these children that we have nowadays even trying to be in a war, and they're on the games, they're streaming, they're TikToking, they're doing everything. They're doing everything but what they need to do. We would be in big trouble. Uh, Somebody said, Greg, is that Greg Street 7902? Desperate times, desperate ideas. I would agree. Brenda Brown, that's what I was thinking. F it all. In prisons that really sexual abuse, send them over there. Send the ones that don't really care. They waiting to delete. So yeah, send them ones over there. Trump, don't come for my baby. I don't blame you on that. The United States Air Force used to not let you in if you had a speeding ticket. Well, those days are over. Okay, they're gonna have to change that because they don't have anybody in the armed services anymore. And this war isn't going anywhere anytime soon. I know Trump is continuously lying, talking about he's in talks with Iran only to manipulate the stock market. They're not talking to this guy. And if they were talking to him, who is he talking to, considering the fact that he told us he's destroyed and taken all their leaders off the face of the earth? So who are you talking to? That is what I would want to know. Um, Let me see. Hmm. Let me. That's just a little picture. Let me see what we got. Oh, that's all they show. Okay. What we say? My 20-year-old nephew told me he'd rather get locked up than to go to the army. Jesus Christ. So he say he just gonna go sit in jail. Wow. Oh, we might be in trouble, y'all. Tricky Nicky 4989 say he ain't going back. Is it that bad? I was never in the military, but is it that bad? You can retire, you get your benefits. Tell me what's going on. Somebody says this, you don't do this type of requirement when 6 soldiers are killed in a battlefield. You do it when you've lost thousands in a very short period of time. And this is a brilliant professor who spoke on Tucker Carlson. Let me see.
And there's a strong possibility that Donald Trump will call a national draft in order to ensure the manpower to fight this war. Then you will have rioting in the streets. You have massive violence, in which case the National Guard is deployed. There's a plan to deploy the National Guard to all major American cities by April. And so, unfortunately, America is probably going to suffer a long, many years of sectarian violence. Not a full-fledged civil war, but maybe something along the lines of the Troubles in Ireland. I'm not sure if you've seen this terrible movie called One Battle After Another. It's just a terrible movie, by the way, but it gives you insight into what a civil war might look like, where you have these insurgent groups fighting against the state. So yeah.
But you expect the United States to hang together as a coherent nation state.
Listen, Tucker, the United States is the greatest nation in the world. The people are open, generous, entrepreneurial, energetic. The resources of America are infinite. America is a continental fortress so that it's protected by 2 oceans. America doesn't have a peer competitor in North America and South America. And so, I mean, America, regardless of what happens, America will still come out doing pretty well just because of the pure energy and creativity of its people. And
Great point. Great point. Nathan, you say this guy is not centered. Were you talking about Professor Jang not being centered? You saying he's not centered? Could you explain how he's not centered, please? And give me your take on that. Explain to me why he's not centered and give me that take. Okay, his ideas are a deviation or two from the center of a bell curve of scholastic thought. Huh. Interesting. Marcus wants to know when I'm doing stand up. I will do stand up in Wichita, Kansas when there's a check for me to come get out there, man. Yeah, I won't tell you something, Marcus. This is a business, and bruh, it gotta all make sense, brother. But hopefully one day soon. He listened to it for a few hours, but I listened to many other to get well-rounded understanding. Okay. So what is your take on this? Are we in good shape, Nathan? What's going on? Are we in good shape with this Iran war? Or you like my talk? I'm just a skeptic. Okay. We all need to pray for peace and unity in Christ. That's real. Shout out to Natural May. What's happening, man? I'm glad you caught the live Texas, Trina. Thank you for pulling up on us. Well, I just wanted to bring that news in. We're looking at if y'all any of you brothers need a job, you out there can't find no work. You 42 and below, you 42 and younger. Guess what? You can sign up for the military, get you some benefits, and start a life. Because I guess that's the only place we're gonna be able to work. All right, we're about to go to our next topic. The good brother Usher.
The standards that we now.
Usher is supposed to be under fire because he won't speak ill of P. Diddy. So let's see what Usher has to say. Let's see what Usher got to say.
I mean, this might be a bit controversial, but in the same way, I think many people choose to look past the reality of what our country is, the standards that we now stand on. We can't ignore the reality of the history, but in many ways, I think certain people are prosecuted and maybe not recognized for the greatness, that they offer. I don't have anything negative to say about Sean Combs because my experience was not what the world has seen and how he's been, misrepresented. I'm not saying that every man is perfect. I'm not saying that all of us don't have flaws, but I can't, with any sense of humanity, not recognize the valuable contributions that this man made for us as Black entrepreneurs, for us as businessmen, for us as people who transition, culture and ideas into something that's tangible and becomes business. So many people benefited from what he created. And I acknowledge that. And that's why I see him as legacy.
Yeah. You told Shannon Sharp you learned a lot about business during that era.
Absolutely.
What'd you learn?
Puff was a mentor but he was like you have that really, really hard teacher, but you're watching something in real time. I think that the idea of the level of discipline that came with that time in business, especially in an era that was trying to prove itself culturally in hip hop. Now you can't turn on the television and not see the influence of hip hop.
That's right.
But the people who actually made that appropriate and are the forefathers are people like Sean Combs. And not just in the great times that they had musically, but in the idea of being able to find ways to monetize culture and create something that was not just Black or white. It was colorless. It was green. That's who I see that man as. And that's what I choose to remember. I put respect on his name because I realized that, what I learned as a businessman, before I even understood what business was, came as a result of seeing the incredible things that he was able to do and the way that he positioned himself as a businessman. There are trials and tribulations that come with the pressures of success and power. But what we choose to do with it is what I hope that you see with me and hopefully all the people that I'm involved with, right?
First of all, I'm gonna say, man, give it up to Usher, man. Usher just showed me that he's an honorable man. Usher showed me that he's a good man, bro. Like, and I feel him on that. And a lot of respect goes to Usher for that, for standing, not necessarily standing up for Diddy, but saying, listen, my relationship with that man was good. That man didn't do me wrong. And that's cool. That's his real view. And of course, we know Diddy has done some people dirty, I guess, especially hitting Cassie, which just really bothered me. It really hurt my stomach with that domestic violence case. However, and I don't know if y'all have been following me or been seeing me, but when I covered that trial was about a RICO. It was about a lot of things that the man wasn't even involved with. And it just boiled down to Diddy being in consensual relationships with two women, that being of Daphne Joy and Cassie. And he was providing them with a luxury lifestyle. They were living the rock star lifestyle. I believe both of the women could have left at any given time. However, society came in, they wanted to kick him down, destroy him. And the jury found him not guilty on the most heinous acts of crime, RICO. They found him not guilty on that. And they only charged him with the transportation of a prostitute across state lines, which is the Mann Act, which hasn't been used in 100 years since Jack Johnson. So I don't condone what he did with Cassie. I don't condone any man putting his hands on a woman. However, do I think he should be in jail right now? Absolutely not. Because you have to look at the law of the land and you have to be objective. And I think that Diddy was a victim to the court of public opinion on steroids. He should have walked out. He should have been done. And the judge who charged Diddy, who gave him the 50 months, he shouldn't even got the 50 months, but he charged him basically on something that the jury found him not guilty on, which is coercion. So it was a very, very unfair trial. People turned their backs on the man. And it was bad. Jerome Sutton, you've come in, you said Diddy should have got way more time. What should he have gotten time for? Could you explain that to me? The man went up on a RICO charge against the feds. They basically combed through everything in his life, every relationship in his life, and they didn't find anything. So what should he have got more time for? Like, I guess the tape, which is bad. But most people, these men are getting 5 years for putting their hands on the female. So just tell me explain that to me, please. That's funny. Say Johnson and Johnson don't have anything bad to say about Diddy either with that baby oil. I mean, they really prosecuted this man for being a freak versus anything else. They really tried to destroy him. And 50 Cent still putting that foot on his neck, which is insane to me. Yeah, but I respect Usher for saying that. He a real one. Y'all gonna leave Mama Tina's gumbo alone. Beyonce mama went out there and made this gumbo, and I guess people don't like the gumbo. I'm sure he has done way more that he's been charged with, but it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. So I don't know. We just talked about the military. I just basically said they raised the age, they removed the marijuana requirement or the marijuana restriction. So it seems like our military is in stress and we don't have enough people. Thank you so much. If we are to be convicted on the court of public opinion, everybody will be in jail, bro. Because you don't like a person, they're jailed. That's what would happen. Let me see.
Tina's booth, and we got her chicken and sausage gumbo, baby. We about to try it. Mama T's chicken and sausage gumbo. Let's see. From 1 to 10. From 1 to 10, I'll give it about a 5. I think mine tastes better than this, actually. But it's good. It has a lot of meat in it and a lot of, chicken and sausage. I give it a 5.
Damn. Oh, poor Mama Tina. Poor Mama Tina, y'all. Well, she went out there to hustle. We got Mister for your sister. What did that woman do to piss you off this early in the morning, man? She was just standing there eating some gumbo. Why are you mad at her? What did she do?
از این مخمسه رها شود.
Oh boy, Raymond. Shout out to Raymond. You ain't lying. I'm a pharmacist like you, and you know good and well many would jail us just because the copay ain't right. Oh, that's hilarious, Raymond. Oh, you telling the devil that's the truth. That will be the real court of public opinion. We walking out of CVS and Walgreens in cuffs, and they stand there. Yeah, you should have made it right, bruh. That's funny. That is funny.
him and his team and that Latino scene. I'm sorry, but that Jay-Z interview was a bunch of sack of shit. And this come from somebody that listened to Jay-Z since I was a kid. But the bullshit that him and his team and that Latino CEO over there at Rock Nation allegedly have been doing these past few years, if not longer, is straight trash. Straight smear campaigning, targeting, sitting behind the scenes, doing shit that they know what's going on. And then try to sit in the interview and act all innocent like it's the stands. No, what they can't believe is that the stands actually have a brain and have clocked they bullshit. I'm sure Nicki and Drake and so many others who've had issues with these people the past few years don't want to hear what the fuck Jay-Z talking about right now. He could continue to fool y'all to sell them damn concert tickets he got coming up and to make y'all believe in what he wants y'all to believe in, since his name has been smeared all over when it comes to the real shit, like being in them Epstein files and stuff like that. And then he talking about Drake and Kendrick and trying to feel sympathy for Drake. Drake don't want to hear that shit, dude. Like, you had a whole national campaign going on trying to make it seem like this man is a PDF, and you supported Kendrick saying this shit publicly on your Super Bowl platform. See, what he wants y'all to do is forget that. He wants y'all to forget the several accusations against him, including children that he's not claiming, and so many other things that he wants the public to feel like he's just this good old guy. Jigga Man, please.
Why people hate Jay-Z all of a sudden? People don't like Jay-Z no more. It doesn't, people say they don't like him, but when you sell out three baseball stadiums of tickets, you sell out 3 nights in a baseball stadium. I don't know, man. I don't know. Because his ticket sales are not reflecting that people don't like him. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Oh, let me turn this off, bro. Sorry about that, guys. I did a take on that Jay-Z yesterday, and I was wrong. I didn't even think it would sell as many tickets as it did. But I'll say this, though. I kind of believe that a lot of the tickets are scalper tickets, and they're just trying to flip them real fast. It's going to be interesting to see, when the concert starts. But I'm not about to sit here and act like the man. He did. I mean, to buy all them tickets, that's crazy. Jerome say he don't like Jay-Z. People must not pay attention to what he says in his music and what he does. Why would you want him to turn against Denzel? What the hell Denzel got to do? Boy, y'all be saying some stuff in here. Billy Sherrod Jr. Let's look at it. Let me see. Oh boy, here we go. Now somebody trying to say they stole sinners, man.
This Nathaniel Sherrod Jr., also known as What's up, Sherrod Jr., also known as Billy. movie director, screenwriter, actor, artist, and producer. I'm here to expose a movie that got stolen from me. I wrote the movie in 2020. It was entitled Bloody Freaks. I have it copywritten since 2020. There's a movie that is saying that they wrote this film in 2024. We were in pre-production already with 27 other producers and different people working on the project. I had a video game being developed. My screenplay starred one Caucasian white lead actress and 3 black male actors. One being a black musician who also has a solo performance in the film, just like in my screenplay. If you've seen my movie Boys Cry, then you know that's my style of movies because I'm an artist. It's my last film, I put a solo in the middle of the movie. I'm performing in the middle of the movie. Sinners starred one Caucasian lead actress, 3 black male lead actors, Michael B. Jordan playing himself twice. A character by the name of Ron Stacks, who's a real person in real life. He's an artist from my hometown. He was going to be in my movie, and he was going to be the well-known person coming into town to throw a music event. And everybody was going to turn into vampires in this scenario at this one location. If you've seen Sinners, then you know that Michael B. Jordan played the well-known person coming into town named Stacks. He played a double. His brother name was Smoke, but he played Stacks, the well-known person coming into town to throw a music event. Every one of my characters in Bloody Freaks was just altered just a little bit, but still the same role, still the same things happening. Even my screenplay, the opening scene says a bloody guitar is shown on the camera. If you've seen Sinners, Sammy in the opening scene was holding a. It's so much more. It's not even half of it. Over 100 similarities. And my screenplay being copyright infringed upon, it just don't sit right with me as a creator, because when I write movies or I write and create stories, I know every character. I develop those characters right here. So if I'm watching something and you done took something from me and tried to change it a little bit, I know every detail that you've changed. I can go down the list of every single character. The attorneys have seen it, and this is why I'm coming public. Like I said, it's even to the point where my part 2, I had wrote part 2 and part 3. In my outline, it tells you the time period. You find out the thing that infected me in the house came from the Jim Crow slave period time period. What time period was Sinners? So, like I said, my attorneys have seen everything, and this is why I'm coming public now. So, trust me, it's way more to be exposed.
Wow. If that's true, man, I hope you get your money, big bro. Wow. It's a dirty game. I don't know, but that's it. That's that man's story. Shout out to Jay Walker Podcast, man. Appreciate you pulling up. Bro, I'm with you. I just said this. Yep. If he's correct, I hope he gets his money as well. Yeah, that's Hollywood. People do steal. So I don't put nothing past nobody. It's rather unfortunate. What'd you say? If they altered a little bit, it's sometimes enough to be allowed and be considered legal or not against. I don't think what happens is, man, with the bankroll and the money they get, and this movie that went all over the world, they gonna bankroll, bro. I don't think it's all big bank take little bank. So it's gonna be very difficult probably for him to fight it, But that's the game of entertainment, man. It's a dirty game. Mm. I don't know. I'm gonna end this one today, y'all. How y'all feel about Tommy Lee dating Beyonce nephew? Tommy Lee 41 dating a 21-year-old boy. A 41-year-old female dating a 21-year-old. Can y'all explain that to me? Women are typically more mature than men. What does a 40-year-old woman have in common with a 21-year-old boy? Just somebody let me know. I mean, look, I ain't hating. They both adults. I don't look. I'm not tripping on it. It just seems weird, right? Huh? They just kissed.
Type of shit you do when you like somebody.
My baby. You're so fine.
It's hard to be fine. I said it's hard to be fine when you got somebody on your back.
Still fine.
Come on.
Are you struggling, babe? I told you. Wait.
You do that?
Yeah.
I mean, listen. It's do whatever. It just I just say it just seems weird, right? It just seems weird. Let me see what y'all got to say. Gina Rodriguez, you say her mindset. Bad line to say you only live once, date who you want. You don't see a problem, both in their serial prime. Men do it all the time. Nah, he looks so small. Women are only more mature than men up to age of 17, 18. Let's get it correct, sir. Mm. I don't, it's just weird. And I would ask any woman that agrees with it, would you be okay with your 21-year-old son dating a 41-year-old woman? I would just ask that. When you want, don't you want grandkids or something like? So he's supposed to be 30 with a 51-year-old. And he gonna be 40 with a 60-something-year-old woman. Like, what? Make it make sense to me, man. He is grown, but this is just kind of wild. It's a little wild to me, guys. What's happening, Darrington? Yeah, that's a baby. That's a baby. That's like she dating her son, bro. It's kind of, I don't, like I say, to each his own. I mean, but it's still weird. Now this is interesting. So the singer Sammy, his baby mama decided to leave their baby on his front porch, and she's saying it was due to postpartum depression. That is insane. You know, for a woman to do this, that's not postpartum depression, bitch. That's child neglect. You left a newborn baby on a front porch and you talking about postpartum depression. And then you drove off, meaning a dog, a squirrel, or anything, a animal, or any stranger can run and take this child. That is, I mean, this is beyond reproach. This is reprehensible. And I mean, left, just drove off. Just drove off. That is not, what kind of postpartum depression are we talking about here? You just totally neglect a child? Yeah, they need to put her ass in jail. They need to put her ass in jail, bro. Oh no, you mean to tell me the USA updates for it is going to be like Russia? If you can walk, you go into the front lines. Yeah, pretty much. When the male does it, the perspective is changed. He's considered trash and an unfit father in the eyes of the court. What a woman does, she is pardoned on the false narrative of stress. Absolutely. Yeah, that's crazy. That ain't no po. That is really crazy.
To Japan. This.
Let me see what's going on with this.
view, and the long view here could be just 60 days. Remember, to affect the U.S. economy, you need oil. I'm talking about recession talk or hurting the economy or damaging small business. You need oil at above $93 for 3 months. We're only 1/3 into it. So everybody chillax and let this thing play out. There's a really big opportunity here, a huge one. And everybody gets the upside, including all our trading partners. We work this out. We're selling stuff to Saudi Arabia. We're selling it to the UAE. We're selling it to Asia. We're selling it to Japan. This is a huge opportunity. I just see it for what it is. It's history being made.
All right, Kevin, appreciate you being here. There's a lot to watch there, and the markets obviously are super sensitive to any bits of news we get from all of this, and that's why we're seeing all that volatility, which can be hard for
view. And the long view here could be just 60 days.
Yeah.
Remember, to affect the U.S. economy.
Right. I mean, I don't know, Kevin. You're telling them they're going to hold it out for the 60 days then. They trying to break the U.S. economy. Oh, boy. Oh, it's been a slow day. It's been a slow stream today, y'all. Oh. You say it's too early. Ah, that's funny.
Hey, Jerry, tell them about the buffet tiers.
Ah, yes.
I'll have the crabs.
Okay, that was weird.
Yeah, so they have 5 tiers to choose from, and we went for course A.
Let me see something. This is crab in Thailand.
I just went to one of the most premium king crab buffets you'll find in Bangkok, Thailand.
Hey, Bangkok, stop giving me more reasons not to leave, will ya?
I'm kidding. I ain't ever leaving, so keep these ridiculous seafood buffets coming.
Secret entrance.
Hey, Jerry, tell them about the buffet tiers.
Ah, yes.
I'll have the crabs.
Okay, that was weird.
Yeah, so they have 5 tiers to choose from, and we went for course A. This gives you unlimited king crab, snow crab, red crab, and around 50 other dishes to slide down your greedy gullet. And you got 75 minutes. Game on. A very important point here, guys. You don't have to cut the crab, so no crabby fingers for you. The lovely staff members do it all for you. Oh, how sweet. Oh my god, there's sushi, tempura, oysters, and some seriously good Japanese desserts. Everything. Okay, they have everything. Alright, I really don't know where I can go from here. I feel I've reached the top.
Man, that was in Bangkok. That shit
I
was
just
like,
went to one of the most premium
I
king
think
crab
this shit was
buffets
like
you'll find in
$10.
Bangkok, Thailand.
I think that was like $10 for that whole buffet. Yeah, they real crabs. The war is affecting more than the U.S. economy. It's affecting the global economy due to the fact that once shipping costs go up due to vessels having to find a different route. Absolutely. Product pricing increases globally. Absolutely. I would agree. I would agree.
Aviation, 75th Ranger Regiment.
Let me tell you, yes, I have never stopped stand up. All you see me doing is for stand up. Every video, every live stream is just to keep engagement with all of y'all. So when I have a show, y'all buy the tickets. This is, stand up is everything. Stand up is everything. You know, the thing about it is it's difficult, man, selling these tickets, drawing audiences, you up and down in certain markets until you really hit. But this is what I got to do. So when I come to Jersey, it won't just be you there to be a full house. So absolutely. They see that retailers are price gouging. It's impossible society to see things real straight due to the fact that it's too many followers. If the influencers actually wanted to make an impact, that would happen. Interesting. Well, they're saying right now that the U.S. is about to do a ground invasion in Iran to open this straight up. I don't know how well this is going to go, but let's see.
Similarly, and
wait, hold on.
there's some very good open source intelligence sites that we've seen a flow of the special operations commands, kind of lead elements, Army's Delta Force, SEAL Team 6, the Task Force 160, that's U.S. Special Operations Aviation, 75th Ranger Regiment. They also have been going to the Middle East on C-17s, multiple flights over the last 48 hours. So we're seeing the deployment of what are ground forces. And so I think that's something that, one should take note of, in particular, because in the past, when Trump has done this, whether it's the Venezuela operation with Maduro or the initial kickoff in Iran, when he moves military assets, he actually uses them. And in particular, we also have to remember that the Marine Expeditionary Unit, the one coming from the Pacific, that will be on station by Friday. In the area too. So that's another contingent of Marines. So there are ground forces flowing to the region. I think that's really significant. Similarly, and if there's some.
So we about to invade Iran. We're going to see how this is going to go. They're about to forcefully open this strait. They're about to put boots on the ground. This is not good.
To carry one out, and it's not just. Well, Audie, whatever the president ultimately decides about a ground operation in Iran, all the pieces are now in the region to carry one out. And it's not just the 1,000 paratroopers, you have Marines deployed to the region, and then all the forces, the air transport, etc., that one would require to put troops on the ground, whether that be, you've heard the discussion of Karg Island, which is so central to Iran's energy industry, or perhaps along the shores of the Strait of Hormuz to secure the Strait of Hormuz. We don't know, and ultimately it's up to the president, but at least the pieces are in place. So we're left in a situation not unlike where we were 4 weeks ago before the start of the war, where you have two tracks at the same time. You have diplomatic discussions with Iran, or at least now laying the groundwork for those discussions, with an enormous military buildup. We saw what happened 4 weeks ago. The president chose the military option, saying that the talks weren't going anywhere. So we're left in that situation again. Will the president decide that the talks aren't going anywhere in his view and then deploy further military action up to and including ground forces? We don't know. I will tell you from here in Israel, there's a great deal of skepticism as to whether there is actual potential for real peace negotiations.
Yeah, we gonna see. Well, guys, I'm about to get out of here. This has been real. Oh boy. I got a crook in my neck. Oh, this has been real, guys. Thank y'all for tuning in. I'll see y'all tomorrow.